Hey, I'm Sarah Gaither with Carolina Pottery. And as you know, vintage, farmhouse, it's just the way we're decorating these days. So I decided, you know what, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but this wonderful piece has been hanging on our set wall. So I thought, you know what, I've added in the pictures, I've done some greenery, I've added the berries. We need to make this look like Christmas too. And Carolina Pottery has so many different kinds of signs, metal art, things like that that you can use that are different than a wreath to hang up either outside or inside to decorate your house. So what I've done is I'm just going to take this actually hangs this way. So I'm going to add, coming down this way, to this piece of metal art. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've made a bow, and like we've talked about so much now is our truck, buffalo check, farm look, vintage, all of that is just hot, hot, hot right now. So I'm going to come onto this, and I'm going to leave the top area a little bit showing so that I can add some other things to it. I'm going to, sorry, it makes some noises. I'm going to take my wire and twist it around the back so that now my bow's in place. Okay, now just like I've done on other things, I want my streamers to hang down. Then, while it has a bow on it, does make it look Christmas, I can't help but think of Christmas greenery every year. And the smell of your Christmas tree is one of my favorite things. Now, while this doesn't smell, it's still going to look a lot like Christmas. So I'm going to dip this into my glue pan. I'm going to come up underneath my bow. So I'm going to keep adding, and then I'll come back in and I'll add some extra reinforcements to make sure that my greenery sticks onto my metal. Okay? So I'm going to come back and I'm going to use some floral wire, and I'm going to add that around that piece of greenery that I just glued on, and I'm just going to wire it around the frame, and that just helps just let me feel a little more at ease about the fact that it's going to stay on there. So I'm going to wrap that here, and I'm going to wrap that around on the other side. The neat thing about these kinds of do-it-yourself projects, or you can just look around and say, you know what, I love that picture right there, and just add a bow to it. I love that piece of artwork there. Let me just add a little glitter pick to it. It just makes decorating for Christmas so much fun. I probably, when I get done with this, would go back in and string it with lights, and then that way I'll have a bright something hanging outdoors, maybe even on the side of my barn. I'm going to go in with some more berries. I just love adding berries. These are water resistant, so that means that they won't run. Now let me teach you a little tip. If you pull out your red berries and oops, part of it looks white on the side because a little bit of the coloring has popped off, get a red permanent marker and color in that berry. And you will never ever know the difference. And because it's permanent, it won't wash off when the water hits it. I'm going to add in just a little bit of cotton. Now, because again, I want to make sure that it's reinforced on there, I'm going to go back and add wire. And on this one, I want to add some pine cones. I want it to really feel woodland, outdoorsy. Now, you could also, my grandmother had wonderful pine cones at her house that I've used so many times for decorating at Christmas. So maybe you have some pine cones of your own that you'd want to add in. So that's definitely something you can do. Decorating for Christmas doesn't have to be expensive. So I'm going to add those in. And then again, I'm going to go reinforce it with my wire. But I'm going to go ahead and hold it up and let you see it. So now we're ready to put our big wall art, metal art, up for Christmas. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sarah Gaither with Carolina Pottery.